PodCast. I've got with us a special guest tonight, ThunderWack.
What's up, guys?
And then we also have my guild leader, Arbitrator.
What up?
And I am Dojason. Let me get this video playing in the background. This is my Grand Arena footage and then some more footage that'll carry on. So I love this 3v3 or even Grand Arena to like test the limits and try and get as many points as possible. So there was an undergeared Phoenix team, so I just used Wampa by himself, right? And he just went in and he just smashed it. So how have you been doing in 3v3 this round, ThunderWack?
This round, I actually came up with somebody that came against somebody that messaged me and said, "Hey, I watched your video," and they did my thing. They thought they're strong with my defense. So, and I had to go through 3 teams just to take out one of theirs. They had to do 5 battles, and they haven't been able to take out one of my teams yet. So it's actually really fun and interesting to go forward because, you know, he has Trav, Revan, he has all the great characters, and so do I, but we all ate him on defense. So getting in there and figuring out a few combinations. You mentioned Wampa earlier. If my Rex isn't exactly geared up all the way, but I put Rex lead and Wampa alone against a Kira, I have it up here, Young Khan and L3 team, and it was more powerful than mine, and I did exactly what you did against the Phoenix. Picked them out. It was totally awesome. Yeah,
it's lots of fun. My first opponent, he didn't set very good teams, so I was able to have lots of fun with taking in like 2-man teams like Jedaii Training Ray and BB-8, just the 2 of them. And I did Thrawn and Shore Trooper because I was able to end the battle with 100% of the health and protection, you know, just to get the extra points and stuff. So, you know, so it's fun when the opponent doesn't have a hard team to do it with. Otherwise, you know, I had a really hard opponent today where I took three attacks to get through the First Order and Night Sisters. Man, I have problems with First Order and Night Sisters.
Oh, join the club. I still struggle to counter them. If I don't have Jedaii training available, I struggle. Well, so that's how I take them out easiest.
I always use Jedaii Training Ray against these scoundrel teams that are out there, right? So, like, I used my JTR, BB-8, and R2 against Kira, Nest, and L337. You know? So, because that's a really hard team, too, these Kira teams, you know.
Oh, they're nuts.
So, right? Nest and L3 with Kira, like, that looks like a pretty hardy team, you know.
It's one of the nightmare defensive teams in the game. I'm actually up my Kira, you speak, gearing her up.
Yeah, I'm trying to gear up Kira, but, you know, right now, because of the recent release of the Millennium Falcon, I've changed my gearing priorities from characters for Grand Arena, but characters for the ships that I need to use with the Falcon. Like Biston's U-Wing, for instance.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, same thing. Biston and Cassian's U-Wing is better when you get that pulling the reinforcement abilities. He can come in and dispel all the buffs on the opposing team.
Yeah.
Or they use it against you and just gets devastated.
Right.
Yeah, Millennium Falcon's right out there to target, you know. So
yeah.
Once the Millennium Falcon's down, the Rebel team is really like a sitting duck out there.
Exactly.
Well, let's get back to the 3v3. Arb, you had an interesting experience. Why don't you tell us what you did?
Well, that was the first round. I mean, luckily it didn't really matter because I still won anyway. But I went in there against the what was it? It was the Saj, Zombie, and Acolyte. I was like, oh, this should be no problem, you know. So I throw my troopers in there first, and
same thing I would do.
I got annihilated. I was like, what? And it was so fast that like I didn't even expect to lose. So now I primed their meter and everything, you know. And so I'm like, what the hell? So I throw in another team. I'm like, and, you know, I'm trying to pick some other teams. I lose with another team. So I said, let me look at this guy's mods. Sure enough, his Acolyte and his Zombie have all complete 60 mods on them. I'm like, what the hell? Who the hell burned 60 mods on that team? Well, if I really thought about it and really paid attention, that's his arena team. He's not, he's not a top of arena player, but that's what he's running on in the arena right now. So I should. Okay. Well, that makes sense then. Yeah, it was
my Dodge lead or Towson lead, and I guess maybe you don't know, but that's interesting.
I don't remember off the top of my head. I can look it up in a little bit and let you know.
My failed attempts against the Night Sisters are playing right now as we're talking.
Oh yeah, so just for shits and giggles, I was like, I cleared out everything else I could because I knew that was a lost cause on that one. So then at the end, I was like, let me just throw one tune at a time and see how many defenses I can get on it. And I got it up to 100. So I don't know if that's a good.
Yeah.
100.
Yeah, I should have posted that picture 100. On Reddit on Tuesday. I forgot to post it on Reddit. That would have been fun. People have been like, I posted it in the Night Sister Discord because I've joined all these different faction Discords and stuff. And, the Night Sister Discord, I had posted a picture of it and somebody just like slammed it. They're like, there's no way that's possible. Nobody would do that unless it was intentional because I was like, of course it was intentional. Like, there's no way somebody would think that they would have a chance after like the 10th time or 12th time, So.
Well, I ran into the same situation with somebody decided to go a General Kenobi lead, a Zeta Barris, and a Zeta Jolee. And I'm like, okay, this is a pure defensive team. I'll go in and take it out. This is like 10 teams later, and it hasn't even taken any damage because they keep reviving.
Right. So the GK Zeris, I don't put that on defense strictly because it's a great offensive team too. And, and there's like that third spot can be pivoted by a bunch of different really, versatile high damage tunes depending on what characters you have to use. Like you could put, Wampa in there. You could put Nest in there. You could put Boba Fett in there. You could put Darth Nihilus in there. Right. In fact, that's what I did this round. I put Darth Nihilus in there and used Traya with Scion and Maul because. That's just what I did.
Well, going back to what Arby said, sometimes you look at teams like when he looked at that Night Sister team and he went, "This is going to be a breeze." That was my saying with the team. And you went, wow, that's what makes it fun. You run into a situation where I used all my good teams on the other teams because I'll be able to wipe it. No, not true.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Night Sisters took me 3 attempts, and First Order took me 3 attempts this round. I still won though because he didn't get through my back wall. He got through 3 of my sections, and he made 1 attack. Maybe he's got some other teams later. He might come back. I don't know, but it'll be close if he can come back. I haven't done the math yet, but it'll be close.
Well, I know for certain I'm going to get slaughtered, so it doesn't matter. Why would you get slaughtered? You got Revan. You should have a fighting chance. He blew right through my entire lineup, no problem whatsoever, which made me want to cry.
Every single team 1 attack, huh?
He's got some very, very unique teams. And Arb, you got to remember, I've got a lot of fluff GP.
Yeah, so these are the teams that we need to see. I want to see these teams. You need to share those with the guild.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'll share them. I'll share them with you. Who knows? I might be wrong. I might blow right through this and not really have the issue I'm fully anticipating having, but my guess is I'm in trouble. Yeah, and by the way, just in case anybody's wondering about what he's talking, sorry about the noise, about the fluff GP, if you take your mods off of your characters that are not being used and stuff like that, you can lower your GP and actually get matched up with people who, are a little bit lower. So you might get a little bit of a better, an easier matchup instead of, like he's saying, you're boosting your GP and getting paired up with people who might be, have a more roster depth than you have.
So in another situation, talking about matchmaking is, I know a guy that actually had messaged me and said, "Hey, look at my roster. He has all kinds of tunes at year 10, like almost every tune, and he doesn't have a full awesome squad. So he's matched up with like 3.1 million galactic power, and he just got destroyed. And he said, is this fair? And I had to think about it for a while. I didn't know the answer to that. Talking about the matchmaking process, in the sense that he didn't have Revan, he didn't have Trey. The other guy does. It has so many more. He farmed differently. He decided to go all out with different characters and get them geared up. So it's interesting to see how that works. And the poor guy hasn't won a single Grand Arena match yet. He's trying to think, what can we do about this?
Yeah,
because he invested in the wrong characters. That's
Yeah, I mean that's similar to one of the guys. Not completely similar, but one of the guys in our guild. He gets a lot of fluff GP just from the fact that he has a lot of characters. Almost every character is 7-star level 85.
Yeah.
Granted, he doesn't have it really geared up, but those things are raising your GP also. So again, you're getting a little bit of a harder matchup. Which is it fair? I don't know if it's fair, but.
But it's also it's the investing of characters. It's the same way you look at unlocking certain characters. We had the opportunity to. I know we'll talk about the Falcon, but we had the ability to get the Falcon if we would have chose in the bounty hunter, and they came out right away. Some people didn't. Some people did, and that was just how they choose to invest. Sometimes that affects how you play the game.
right. Exactly, because as soon as those ships were farmable, it was time to start farming them. You didn't even have to refresh the nodes if you started farming right away. Because I didn't refresh the nodes. I only got a 5-star. But people who refreshed the nodes at the very beginning got 6 and 7 stars. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I started refreshing the nodes, and I started buying shards for the ships once it was, announced for the Millennium Falcon. Which I was already farming them to start with, though. So I think you would have had to at least buy some shards and some refreshes to get it. You don't think so?
No, I would agree with that. It wasn't nearly like it was with Revan, where you had no time to do it. But you're right. Maybe what I ended up doing is, I guess, when the packs come out, I would always get the first pack that I start. Sometimes I mention that, and then it makes it a lot easier to go from then on out. I've started to do that with every character. Get the $9.99 pack. Like, this is going to be able to save me crystals in the long run when I have to refresh these characters when they're needed for something.
Not just crystals, but time. Lots of time.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, and it's a good supportive investment. Saying, hey, I support the game. Right? $10.
Yeah.
I don't spend that often, but if it's a character I want, I will. I just I can't really afford it.
Hey, that's
yeah. So, but that's okay. It's okay to be free to play. Anyways, yeah. So that's why even free to play, you get the Falcon the first time around just by farming it. So what kind of team comps are you seeing in your fleet? That's the next thing that I want to get to about the Millennium Falcon is because me and some guildmates have had some debates, and when he listens to this, I know he will listen to this because he's pretty good about that. Yeah, shout out Wild. Yeah, I'm using your team in Arena right now, and it's doing me good. But. It's not the reinforcement.
After all that back and forth with them.
No, but I wouldn't leave it on defense in territory wars or territory battles. But I would use it in arena. Yeah, and I would use it on offense too in territory wars. But I wouldn't put it on defense in a territory war. I still stand by that statement. But I will use it in arena on offense. In fact, I have 45 minutes till my payout. I typically do my payouts during this time. So, why am I not surprised? The most time I've seen low DPS character in defense with Zereth. I feel too low. Throbbing. Oh, sorry. I'm just checking the live dashboard on Twitch. We have a couple of viewers. We have one. So, yeah. All right. So with the Millennium Falcon now, what did I lose you guys or?
No, we're here.
Okay, so like what ships are you guys using in the starting lineup?
Well, my starting lineup goes with the Falcon, and I rotate it. I keep the Houndstooth in there, but sometimes I put Biggs's X-Wing. Sometimes I put the Ghost. What I have learned, there's this one guy in my arena, Side Hill, which he'll eventually listen to this. He has every ship 7 stars maxed out completely, and I can't beat him. But what I learned to do to beat him is to get lucky. Is I don't use Houndstooth's ability to get taunt, so I somehow get Biggs. I get Biggs to get taunt. I get lucky, and then I'll bring in the Ghost to get protection of that. Probably the most frequent team that I see is the one that I use specifically, and what a lot of other people use, is Houndstooth, Falcon, and then either Biggs or Ghost can be rotated in there. Then you have Phantom as a reinforcement, Cast and Ewing as a reinforcement, Ty Advanced as a reinforcement. He can come in and give all that offense down and damage over time. And then that 4th slot, sometimes some people bring in Flame 1, some people bring in Biston's Ewing. I've seen people in my chart bring in Anakin's fighter.
Dude,
but
I've got Lando's in that last one.
Yeah, Lando, come on.
Lando's in that last one, man. Lando's Millennium Falcon's my 4th reinforcement.
Well, see, here's what's great about you guys is I don't have Lando's Millennium Falcon. I don't have it geared up.
Oh, I geared the shit out of that thing.
I'm going to do it now after this pop.
Yeah. I've got Lando at gear 11.
I'm going to spend the next 5 days getting that geared up.
Yeah,
it does a lot of damage, and if it's your last reinforcement, I mean, it gets like 4 turns in a row.
Yeah,
it's not running because in my entire shard, nobody really has that shit.
Dude,
so now that you say that, I'm definitely going to go after it.
It is definitely as soon as you unlock it. So I regret farming Nest before the Millennium Falcon because I wish I had Lando's Millennium Falcon and Lando 7-starred right now, and still be working on Nest right now. So I think that in the natural progression of how it unlocks, that it's a 16 energy node and there's 2 things on it versus Nest being a 20 energy node, there's 1 thing on it, right? You should, logically, for the growth of your account, right, you should just do the cheaper one first. So I didn't do it that way because I was able to unlock everything and I was like, ooh, Nest, I want Nest, right? Everybody wants Nest. So,
that's great.
Right, so I did the thing that everybody wanted to do, and now I regret it. But Nest is still good; she works out. I did a Boba Fett and Nest versus the Bastilla team in the Grand Arena.
How'd that work out? Did you?
I won, yeah. So Nest almost died a couple of times, but Boba died, right? But I think that because I have my Kira team on defense, that the Boba Fett serves as a good replacement lead because there's always the Kira Nest cheese against the 5-man Bastilla team, right? So I just kind of implemented that kind of mentality into, well, what about Boba and Nest versus a 3-man Bastilla team?
Zeta on Boba?
I have the Zeta on. It's my very first Zeta I ever spent in the game, way back when Zetas first launched. It was my... The only reason I have Boba Zeta is because it was the absolute first Zeta I put on my account.
That's funny talking about first Zeta ever. My first Zeta ever was Count Dooku. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know why.
But Count Dooku can be utilized in very...
Back in the day, that was theoretically good, though, with the Nihilist team, so I can't really knock you for that.
Yeah, I did. That's when I first was able to take one in a my team. I had a Nihilist lead, Palpatine, Dooku, and then Chase. And I just got I got a lot of stuns, and it was fun. So I'm like, I'll just put this on him.
All right. Hey, can't argue it. That's it.
And hopefully gets a rework, maybe.
Right alongside General Grievous.
And Mace Windu.
Right? And the clones?
Yes.
Never gonna happen.
Never gonna happen?
What do you guys think? I thought talked a lot in my videos about farming the Sith ships because I think they're going to be needed for the Ebon Hawk. Do you think they're going to bring a new capital ship to the game at some point in time? And if so, which one?
I freaking hope so. I mean,
too.
Come on. We've had 4 capital ships for the longest time.
Yes.
Like,
well, I think we already know Darth Vader's coming through.
No, that was just for the event. No, that was just for the event.
I think it was just for the event because, I mean, if we they would have really worked a little harder to actually like give it its own kit if it was actually going to come in. That's what I think.
Yeah.
And I don't think
I'm sure it will.
Has its own ship.
No, that's a good point. That's a good point.
But like, it's not like they don't have characters to use. General Grievous, I mean, you could use the Malevolence, which would be awesome, or the Invisible Heads. Now, that has Ravager. There's, they could bring in a bunch of different characters, Admiral Trench for the Separatists, or Hux to maybe get a First Order fleet commander for the first time ever.
Right. They could just hand Holdo one with an ultimate ability that destroys the capital ship.
Yes.
Right? That's what's on Countdown, is Holdo's explode ability. So if it's Holdo versus Holdo, it doesn't matter. Whenever the capital ship's gone, then it's gone, and now you have a fleet without a capital ship left over.
It results in a draw.
So, yeah. Who knows? I mean, I would like to see a new capital ship. I don't care what it is, but as long as it's something, right? That's my thing. I don't care what it is.
Yeah,
just give us something.
With ships in general, ships is very power-based. I actually love ships.
I have a fleet fetish.
I don't like, but I hope they expand it more.
I'm sorry, you actually cut out in the last thing. At the last thing you said.
I said I hope they expand ships more. Bring Luke Skywalker's X-wing and stuff like that. Bring some more legendary ships.
Right. One of the over a year ago, I had made a Photoshop image of Luke's X-wing, and I remember Arb showed me on Reddit, a dev post said that this was confirmed it was a Photoshop. I was like, the dev saw my picture. Damn. Oh man, that was pretty funny. So I actually used it as the banner for my my page. Yeah, so it's fun. We're digressing, but yeah, and I do think because I kind of asked two questions though, which I liked, right? So the second half of your question was, what about Sith ships for some kind of either Sith capital ship or the Ebon Hawk as an unlock, right?
Yes.
Right. So, do you think that? I think that it's possible. I mean, there's 4 Sith ships. It's possible that they could give Sith Trooper his own ship as well.
Yeah. Well, and the biggest thing with me is they're kind of unexpected adds to the game. They came out at times where you're like, what are they doing here? They're not really necessary. It's not coinciding with anything that's happened in the game. Which leads me to believe that they're going to be, and they're not they're not dominant ships at all either. Which really makes me lead to believe that they're going to be needed for something that will be dominant at one point in time.
Right. So, one thing is the Marauder ship, the bomber. It's actually annoying. Prior to the Millennium Falcon, prior to the Mace Timeout fleet being discovered, the bomber off of the bench underneath Tarkin was a nightmare, right? You would have they would start with, because he was Houndstooth and Xanadu Blood and something else out there,
Geonosian or something.
Yeah, and then they would come out with the Sith bomber, and Lando's Falcon was always kind of the last one. I have a Kraken. His name is Kraken Revan on my fleet arena, and he's in Team Instinct. And so, basically everybody just looks at what is he doing, right? Because he must be the one that has all the information, doing all the testing and stuff. And so it does seem like people try to copy him. I try to do my own different thing, though. I did, so prior to Millennium Falcon, I was running, 2 tanks with Sunfac and Houndstooth in the front with the regular TIE Fighter. under Thrawn.
Really?
Yeah.
You just had the original TIE Fighter in there.
Original TIE Fighter, Sunfac, and Houndstooth under Thrawn was my team because it was just all about gaining Terminator. I used to be under Tarkin, but then because I have Thrawn's a much more better character to have invested in, so he was the first one I put the 60 mods on for 4th Fleet, because I was running him. So now I got to worry about 60 mods on my Falcon crew, right? So now I'm running with an all Rebel lineup in the startup. And I was trying it with the Houndstooth, but because everybody on my shard is like further progressed than me. I've got a 6-star Houndstooth, everybody's got a 7-star Houndstooth, except for like maybe one guy. Right, I've got a 5-star Millennium Falcon, there's 7 stars and 6 stars. There's other 5 stars, but the one thing that I have on everybody is I was the stupid guy that invested the Gear 12 Plus pieces on Biggs before Houndstooth came out.
Yeah.
And so my Biggs is like one of the only Biggs. It's the has the most power out of any Biggs on my fleet chart if you go into the actual character, because I have both Gear 12 Plus pieces on him. It was so stupid.
You can bring in like the Ghost and get his protection back up there. Fucking stuff.
Well, yeah, I use the Phantom. The Phantom comes in and uses. Yeah, I don't actually use the Ghost, and then I use what's his name, Cassian, but Biston's in the starting lineup.
They all get target locked. Yeah.
So it's Biston, Falcon, and Biggs in the starting now. So that's my one redeeming quality is that my Biggs is, aside from mods, he's maxed out, literally. Because on the gear. So that's the one thing I have going for me. And it seems to work really good against the Sunfac, or not the Sunfac, but the Houndstooth that are in the front. But it has its own vulnerabilities.
So that's the one thing talking is when you go from 5-dot mods to 6-dot mods on a character that you use in ships, each dot the speed of that ship by 1. So let's say you have 5-dot mods on Biggs. I don't know what his base speed is. Let's say you increase all of those to 6 dots, you're going to be getting an extra +6 speed. So that's the biggest difference going between 5 and 6-dot mods.
I don't think that every single 6-dot mod gives you a speed. I think it's some kind of like fractional ratio, and it's different for each character based upon the number of Zetas and other abilities. Because yeah, I don't think it's directly 1 for 1, because I think somebody was telling me, and I haven't looked this up, and I know it's, but somebody was saying it's like it's every 2 mods is 1 speed on regular characters, and every 3 mods for 1 speed on a capital ship. So, but I don't know if that's true or not either, right? These are just things.
Yeah, I pulled up this Reddit post about it, and I'd always wondered about that. Like, what exactly is it?
I still don't know, man. I don't know what to believe. The internet's so full of there's so many trolls, and people just will say whatever, just brash and not know what they're talking about. Who knows? I don't know. But mods, yeah. You've got a lot of good mod videos, which is cool. Like you got a Jolee one that you came out with today, which I really like that you explain to people like, well, let's go through the abilities and find out why we're doing what we're doing, right? So Jolee's abilities have health, right? So obviously we want a mod for health, right? So I think that's really good for. It's great to help teach people about those things.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your strategy?
Is that what you were recommending? Just health on Jolee?
Well, what I did in today's video is I have a full 6 health mod. And the biggest thing with Jolee is survivability, because the longer you can stay around, obviously, the more you're able to do. And you don't need any offensive statistics on him whatsoever. The most important thing with Jolee is to make sure when he attacks a character, preferably that character doesn't have foresight, because when he hits and lands an attack, he decreases his cooldown by 1. That's important. Now, personally, what I did with my Jolee is he's getting plus 30% health in one of his abilities anyway. So I actually have the all 6-dot health mods, like I said. So that's at 30% right there. But I also have 2 mods of protection in the primary. because he's going to be getting some bonus protection up as well. Because when you go from a 5-dot mod, 5.88%, to a 6-dot health mod that gets you to 16%, that one mod itself is average going around would be worth 2.5 5-dot mods with health primary. I have health in 2 of these spots, and I have protection in 2 of the spots in the primaries. And that's exactly the theory that, hey, we want to have him based on all health, but my other thing when playing with him and experimenting with him is have him as survivable as possible. And when you're rapid ability where you're constantly counterattacking and gaining protection back, that's survivability as well. So yes, I prefer a health set. Now my health set has quite a bit of the secondaries, Falcon has a 25. So some people, he should be decently fast. So some people that don't have the best speed might put a speed stuff. But if you have mods available, I would definitely recommend a full 6-dot or 5-dot health mod, a full 2 set, and 3 with protection and health in the primaries as much as possible. And then in the defensive or the secondary statistics, don't worry about protection, offense, any of that stuff.
Me, basically health on everything, but then I also with one of the sets I put a defense set on them. So
that's great too. That's the one mod set I probably should be farming more of. I don't have enough defensive mods.
Yeah, I don't either. But I'm like, 25% defense seems pretty good, for a character like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've been farming defense mods, and I'm getting really disappointed in the rollings that I'm getting. I'm like, because I feel like defense is really the new offense, right?
Yeah,
it's
increasing when you take it to 6 dots.
Right. Yeah. So the defense primaries with defense set, and then some great secondaries to couple with it, right? Speed and then maybe more defense or tenacity, or still you want speed secondaries. Doesn't matter what the mod is. You want good speed secondaries on everybody because this turn-based game, speed's the name of the game. You're going to even your slowest character, you still want him to have some speed on him, right?
Yeah.
Unless it's somebody
right now that
there are a couple characters that
it depends on what you're using them for too. I mean, if they're used for the raid, you don't necessarily need speed.
Correct. Depending on
specific characters. Yeah.
Right. That's correct.
And reach those speeds usually the name of the game.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I built a raid mod set for my Night Sisters, I could probably increase my score by a couple million, but I'm too lazy to switch the mods. So I just keep the same mods that I use for PvP on the raid,
Yeah, right now I'm on this little thing. You want to get a 6-dot mod set of each set. So right now I'm currently farming crit mods, and I'm waiting to get some good set so I can take the whole set of crit chance to 6 dots because I'm kind of OCD like that, and I just want to make it okay.
So
I'll have a full set of everything with 6 dots.
See, that's smart. See, I'm doing it by character, which is probably the dumber way to do it, because now I've kind of fumbled. I want to do some here, but some there, and I'm trying to do them by character. So, I might be doing double the same set without doing some of the other sets. You know what I mean?
Well, see, I did it by character when I got my first 5 arena characters to 6-dot mods. When I had that Revan,
I have to have 10 arena characters right now because I don't have Revan. So I have to have 2 arena sets because I'm not switching. The mod sets are also very different. A mod set for Treya and Dark Basilisk and all that is way different than the mod set for CLS Han and Chewie. Right?
Yeah.
So I have CLS Han and Chewie, and then Revan and the Triumvirate. Those are my 2 options when it comes to what I have to use to attack in arena against Revan. I don't really. I mean, I guess there's other obscure ways, with Zeta Finn and JTR and all these other kinds of weird things. But the teams that I have that are arena teams, I have these 2 options. That's it. It's really challenging.
And a great thing that I give props to CG for is they put the mod stuff just in Shard Store, so you can buy 2 of those. What are they? The pulse modulators or whatever. that
Right.
are needed. You have to have 12 of them to get it. That's really cool because honestly, there's a lot of times I need to spend some of that guild currency on gear. It's like, what do I do here? I need to get this modded 6 dots, but I also need to get Akbar to gear 12.
Right.
Yeah, I kind of cried a little bit bringing Akbar to gear 12, to be honest with you.
You're not the only person that did.
The next time I get a stun gun, he's going to 12.
And like, I know I'm not going to regret bringing, Scarab Rebel Pathfinder to gear 12 because he's been sitting at like gear 9 for quite a while for me. But it's like, the gear that he's requiring right now, I'm like, I have no more golden eyeballs. I have
exactly. Yes. He required so many of that as stun guns. In that, the problem with stun guns and the implants, which I call them the golden eyeballs too, is that you can't when you do your challenges every day. They're not available in the challenges at all. I wish they would add stun guns to the challenges so somehow we could, it's so hard to get. At least they come to us in the. I'm looking at it right here. The Tarkin challenge, the Red Gear challenge.
Yeah, but they don't give enough. They don't give enough of them, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
And think about it. Of all the gold gear, what's the only one of the challenge piece that you've run out of? The golden eyeballs, right?
Exactly.
So, I know that they're always gonna have a bottleneck. I know the stun gun is the current bottleneck for that. The golden eyeballs are the other current bottleneck. But it's like, come on, like. You got to give a little more than that.
Yeah.
It used to be cuffs for the wall. Actually, before the cuffs, I feel like it used to be the Rancor gear back in the day, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Fusion furnaces. Oh.
The Mark 5
for cuffs. Now it's stun guns.
Yeah.
Stun guns. Yeah, stun guns. And I still, I'm one of those that don't have Revan. I have to save 3 Zetas and a crap ton of gear to make sure that whenever he does come around again, I can gear him up, right? He's also a pretty gear-intensive character. Now, I've already put the Zeta on Jolee. And so for me, my best use I've found for Jolee is in Territory Wars or Grand Arena on offense. If there's a Rebel team that they have on defense, you can always use GK, Zaris, Wampa, and Jolee as a 4-man team. And use Jolee to call Wampa. It's so much fun.
That is, yeah.
It's so much fun to have Jolee call Wampa. And then the rest of them are Jedaii, so if Zaris dies or GK dies, Jolee can bring him back. So it's a solid 4-man team.
Do you have your Hermit Yoda to 7 stars too? So you have Wampa and Hermit Yoda both at 7 stars?
Yeah, I went ahead and did both of them as soon as that store came out. I was like, character shards first, and then I'll get the gear. I bought a couple pieces of gear along the way, but for the most part, it was just laser focused on the character shards.
I got my Wampa to 7 stars finally 2 weeks ago, and I couldn't be happier. I told on a lot of the videos, I made the mistake of I'm thinking Gear 12 is going to be more important than characters, and it was probably the biggest mistake I've made because Hermit Yoda in the raids, he's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that master's training. So.
Yeah, no, Hermit Yoda, since he's come out, he's fitted to a lot of raid teams. He's awesome. Mm-hmm. I was kind of like you too, where I bought gear also at some point, but I've had both Wampa and Yoda for quite some time now. 2 weeks ago, that's a lot of gear.
Yeah. Oh yes. And I was like one of guys in my guild, that darn galactic power, and I'm sitting here with Revan and a 5-star trip right now. I don't have a Wampa, but everybody's making fun of me for it. I'm like, hey, you know what? My GK was the first person to have all your 12 on it, okay? So back off a little bit, guys.
Fair enough.
So what are you farming right now?
Well, I am Canderous, Bacilla.
Yep.
Then I'm refreshing Bacilla because I already have Canderous at like 45 out of 55 left is star, and that's just with 3 energy refresh or 3 100 crystal refreshes of the Cantina energy a day. So I'm farming those guys. Then I farm 1,000. I'm working on getting him to 6 stars. The Xanadu Blood, and the V28 Class Extinction Bomber. I do not have a lot of energy left over to work on gear. So like, when I needed to get Akbar to gear 12, I quit doing the V28 Bomber. But I get like first in both payouts usually, so I get like 950 crystals a day, and I'll refresh my regular energy the 53 times and then 100. So I spend 450 crystals on regular energy alone.
So here's an idea for you. So remember how they did the packs the last time?
Yes.
So are you going to bring them up to 7-star right away, or are you going to stop at maybe like 6-star? That way, in case they do come out with those packs again, because they're, pretty good bang for your buck.
Which finishes you talked about?
Okay,
Well,
so for the Old Republic.
Yeah, the Old Republic tunes for Revan.
Oh,
yeah. And those, $6.99 or $7.99 packs or whatever?
So this is actually a great point.
Right. So I felt I was doing triple refreshes on Cantina and Canderous also, and I'm at like the same point as you, but I said, you know what? I'm not doing that because I'm like halfway to 6-star now. I'll start saving those crystals, and then I'll just slowly get them to 6-star and then leave them there, and hopefully those packs come out again.
That's actually a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yes,
don't
great
bring up
idea
the
for
packs.
me
You can
because
just farm from the last bit.
My
Exactly.
only
That's a great
concern.
idea for me.
Oh, sorry. My only concern about that is, what if they jam the old Republic and the new Old Republic tunes in the same faction pack? Now everybody's got those other 5, and then you're fishing for these 4. I mean, it'd be great if they came into to a new separate faction pack, right?
Yeah.
But we're missing the 5th piece unless Jedi Knight Revan is the 5th piece, right? To get Darth Revan or Malak or whatever.
This is a good transition. Quick. Do you think it's going to be Darth Revan or Darth Malak coming out?
So if we don't get a 5th,
what do we think or what do we hope?
Well, let's actually do it both. I'll lay mine first. I actually hope Darth Malak. I know people think I'm nuts. I don't want 2 Revans that close to each other. Let's get it right. Darth Revan is one of the all-time characters I want in the game. But they just released Jedi Knight Revan.
Yep, Malak is the smart
let's
choice.
Get a little separation.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. Malak's the smart choice. Like it just makes the most sense from a business perspective. It makes more sense from a hype perspective. Why not bring Malak into the game? You wouldn't skip over him. You just wouldn't.
Exactly. He's the main antagonist of the Knights of the Old Republic video game. So he's going to be in here.
Exactly. They can't skip over him before we get Darth Revan. I agree. I've never played the games, but from all the stuff that I see and hear, so.
Well, all I can say is if they try to release any more of these marquee Old Republic tunes, people are going to have a fit.
I agree with you 100%, but I don't think there really are any more to release.
There's that one guy that.
Really not.
Well, we've talked about it. There's that one guy, Carthon, not Carth, not Canderous. There's another guy. And he's like, he doesn't say much in the game, and he kills you. And he's like a bounty hunter.
Oh, Calo Nord.
Yes.
Calo Nord is his name.
So,
and I thought that he'd be a cool bounty hunter, but I think where they'll actually go next is I think they'll start Knights of the Old Republic 2. We have the main protagonist of that game was Beatrice Turek, the Jedi Exile. I think if they're going to start releasing more characters that actually shift towards that game, I don't think said they won't release any more characters for this faction of the Old Republic that will be required for any more characters from this area. I think they'll move on to the next game where you can get we already have Freya, we can get Nitro, we can get all of the crew members from Knights of the Old Republic 2 as well.
Right. Yeah. So is that why you think that those other Knights of the Old Republic 2 characters don't have the Old Republic tag? Is because they're from a different game and they're going to get the Old Republic 2 tag later on down the road?
I think that they are actually eventually just going to get the Old Republic tag, but I just don't think it's added yet.
Right. Well, I mean, that would like open up so many different possibilities with the fact that like Revan has an Old Republic leadership, right? So it's not just Jedaii, it's Jedaii and Old Republic. And then we got Carthonasi as an Old Republic leader now. So if they open up that world like to a bunch of Old Republic, like Sith Trooper, Sith Assassin, Sith Marauder,
Exactly.
Visas Mar, Nihilus, Scion, Traya, you're gonna have all these Old Republic Sith that'll might have synergy with like Carthonasi, like that. It'll be kind of crazy.
No, you're right.
So I mean. And I think HK47, from what a lot of people say, should eventually get the tag as well, right? That would make sense.
And I think he'll actually be a required to get Darth Revan.
Yeah, and you know what? What's really kind of interesting to me, and I don't really know the game much, but I see from the things that people talk about and everything as HK47 as a scoundrel. And I know he's a hired gun. But he's basically like a scoundrel or a bounty hunter, even though he's not, right? So why is it that the only two droid scoundrels are IG-88 and L-337? Like,
that's a great point. I never thought of that.
Like, HK-47 should be a scoundrel. That would be the perfect trio of a droid team for 3v3. If you had HK
I mean, I think you're kind of right that it would be nice. Like, remember when they were going back and reworking characters? I mean, that was a thing for a while, and they did a good job. But there's still a lot of characters out there that desperately need reworks. I mean, do you remember gearing up your Geos and crying when you put Omegas on them? You're like, how bad are these abilities, Like, I think it would be nice if all these characters, HK-47 and all these other ones, if they could just get, a boost in power, shake things up and make them competitive again,
Even just add Zeta if you have to. Sometimes that makes all the difference.
Like they did with Zombie, right? Like Zombie made the Night Sister so much better. Like after they reworked her.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was scared about it, So they've done some things that are really good and right, and they can do that kind of thing again, right? So
absolutely.
Like, I really liked in the last Territory War the endless ranks, of the Imperial troopers, right? That's something I think that Arbitrator has been saying for days is, like, the Stormtrooper should have been the one that had the zombie ability. It's like, dude, you fight tons of them.
I never said that.
Oh, wasn't you? Who said that then?
Maybe Arjuna. I don't know. It wasn't me.
Yeah, somebody on the show. Cool. Yeah. That's all. That would be
cool. I mean, the latest buffs in the Territory War, they were fun.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, I kept those teams on offense just because I wanted to see how they would perform.
The clone troopers, those were a nightmare to face against defense.
They were good on D.
Yeah.
How about the freaking Jawas that just stun you to death?
And see, that's a great because I extremely dislike when they did the banning characters for Territory. I don't know where you guys are on that, but I can't stand them taking away characters I specifically invested in. I absolutely love it when they're telling us, they're incentivizing us to use certain characters that we wouldn't normally use. I put some extra gear on my clones because I was excited to see how that Territory worked.
Right. Yeah, breathe some life back into it, The clones are terrible. They needed the love.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've been preaching this for a while on this podcast. It's like just the fact that, if you... This is what we need. We need, different maps. We need different bonuses. We need a different, layouts and stuff like that where you can... Just where it mixes it up so it's not the same, mundane map every single time. Everybody knows where everybody's going to place everything. It's nice to just, shake things up a little bit. So, I mean, listen, they did that thing where they took it away. I didn't like it either. I'm glad that they tried it. at least now they know that the player base doesn't like it, and hopefully they won't do it again.
Yeah, hopefully they won't do it again. I mean, I was able to deal with it and work around it because I like to theory craft interesting team compositions and try and, make my attacks with less characters and stuff like that. So because I like to try and push the envelope sometimes and try things that are different, like, it was fine from that point of view. I didn't like the fact that I had to move my mods. That was the main thing. It's like, if you're going to force me to not use characters, then give me like double or triple days a week with the credit heist to pay for all the mods that I had to move.
Great point.
Like or just remove the cost of moving mods. Like that is the most worthless cost in the game.
True.
Like it disincentivizes people to use the mod loadout system. So
yeah, you're right. That's true.
I am making a video on this tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, it totally does, though. There's no point in and I'm glad that you're going to take this idea and run with it because, that's what we do. We take ideas and we, tell people this is a good idea if we come up with them, right? So
because we already have to pay to upgrade the mods, so I shouldn't have to pay to change between characters. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, it's the cost is sure it's not much. It's not much. It's not a big deal, right? Like to remove a mod, it's like less than 5,000 credits. But like
but it adds up.
Yeah, when you're doing this like over and over, especially when they removed the characters that had all your good mods on them.
Well, I think it made more of a difference when you're at lower levels. I think it kind of causes. I think it's a not marketing strategy, but a strategy that they use, to try to get, the people that are at lower levels that are not, top tier players to kind of dwindle their resources. But they may have to buy some of their packs here and there and stuff like that. But it's stupid. There's really no reason for it, and like just like when they had the destroy button, finally they got rid of that because it was like. Why would you want to destroy your bot when you can sell it? It's just asinine, But I don't know. But I do hope that they add the switch button. Everybody's been posting over Reddit. If you want to switch.
Oh yeah, the switch button would be amazing.
Characters, put a switch button so that your mods will just go back to your inventory.
Yeah.
So that you can find where they went to.
Exactly. Yeah.
I know.
It's a great idea.
It is. That's how great ideas are basic conversations.
Yeah.
So actually, I was thinking, if there's one character you guys would want to see added to the game, who would it be?
Falcons.
So we can have a Wedge, Biggs, and a Falcon meta.
Right.
Yeah, and you gotta have like the ship, and his ship will be like a little lower than the other ones.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You see his picture in the corner, like eating a sandwich, right?
Oh my god, that's so bad.
They came from behind.
I'm pretty sure Carrie made a public statement one time saying they would never introduce Porkins into the game.
They did do that. They did add that.
So, unfortunately, although that would be classic, almost there.
Yep.
How about Praetorian Guards?
Definitely should be added. And with that, I think you got to go with Snoke.
Yeah. And I'd be okay with Snoke being a marquee.
Yeah. The one character that I want is one that's probably OP is, if you've ever played the online Old Republic game, Valkorian, the Sith Emperor, they all the same person. That's who I want added to the game at some point in time.
Is this like Galen Merrick or whatever?
No, Galen Merrick is a different character. Vitiate Valkorian is the Emperor of the Sith Empire in the online MMORPG, whatever it is, online game.
Is this the Eternal Twins? Is this the Eternal Twins?
Yeah. He is the father of the Eternal Twins.
Okay. You want to see the father of the Eternal Twins and then open the
Yes.
doors for Eternal Twins and a bunch of other characters from that game to come in.
Jackson are amazing characters, so I want them too.
Trigger warning. Sorry. Eternal Twins.
Yeah.
Some people out there. That's great. I've seen the little cartoon of their little, brotherhood thing, Rise to Fall.
Yeah.
Right. I've never played the game, but I've seen the whole little cartoon.
Hey, those are unbelievable.
Yeah.
Those short videos.
They're really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, for me, I guess I would have to probably go something old school, Empire, Admiral Piet, and give him. I think that they should have made him be the capital ship leader, and then given us that capital ship. Even though
Agreed.
I think that would have been really cool. They would have been able to give us another capital ship. We would have had an armada of what are these things
Empire
called?
ships.
Star destroyers.
Yep.
We get to have an armada of Star destroyers. Be like, all right, everybody, put all your Star destroyers on defense. That way we look imposing, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I think that would have been cool. Would have knocked 2 in 1 there.
Wouldn't mind a space Leia either.
I think that there's a lot from Episode 6 that they are going to give us that they haven't given us as well. With Jabba's hut.
Bet that will release when they come out with Jedi Knight Luke.
I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't have in the Jedi Luke story for you to have to go to Jabba's palace and save Carbonite Han and all that kind of stuff, right? Fight Darth Vader,
exactly.
train with Yoda. Like, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be the craziest thing. I've also theorized, this is also, now we're getting way down the rabbit hole here. That the Jedi Luke event is going to be more than just like a journey event or a heroes, because it'll be the second stage of a journey, which will be completely different and new, in which you'll need like 20 characters just to unlock.
That would be interesting.
Because you're going to have to go from all the way through Hoth, through Endor, to the final battle, right, to unlock it.
Yeah.
So, like, we're talking, you're going through 2 movies, right? So you've got the Rolo and Cholo and, whatever happens in with the Millennium Falcon and the Worm, and then Cloud City, and then Dagobah, or vice versa, whatever, Dagobah, then Cloud City.
You're right. That, like I said, you got to go to Jabba's palace. So you're right. That could be an extremely large event.
So you're going to need multiple teams. You're going to need Lando. You're going to need all these different characters for all these different parts. So it's going to be like the longest mission quest. Like every stage is going to be different kind of thing. They could make a really big deal out about it. And you would need lots of characters. But it's for the player that has been playing the game for a long time, and has collected these characters and have leveled all these characters up as well. I think it's going to be a really, really hard, challenging event as well. Like, you're going to need Gear 12 for, like, all of these.
I hope they're listening to you, because I think that'd be really... There'd be some people that would be outraged at that. Then there's some of us that have played this game for a long time that think it'll be awesome. Like, yeah, I have CLS. I'll throw him in there. I need old Ben again? Okay.
Yeah, well, you're going to need R2, you're going to need C-3PO, so by de facto, I guess, technically, you already do need, like, 10 characters to get CLS, right? Or, I mean, because you don't need, you need 9, right? Because 5 Empire for R2, and then the other 4. Right, so you need 9 characters for CLS, so technically, you already have 10 for that you need to get for this other loop.
Yes.
So 10 more doesn't seem out of reason, I guess, or even more than that, because C-3PO is probably required, and he requires 5. Chewbacca is probably required, and he requires 5 other characters, right? So, crazy.
But that's the fact that why I love the game. I don't think it's going to die out, because they can go so many places, and Star Wars as a franchise is going to keep expanding. And, like, we just talked about each character we want to add to the game. There are literally thousands of characters that we can add to the game to keep it fresh and running. And that's why I like it, because I don't feel like it's a dying game.
Right.
Well, and it's nice that, like, okay, yeah, we dipped into the KOTOR for quite a while, but at least like they did bring us back and give us C-3PO. I don't think that they want to bring too many characters from the main
time period.
Yeah, not just the same time period, but from the main actual like movies. Just because you gotta save content too. That way, people keeps people coming back for more. If every single character from all these 8 movies right now it was in there, right?
10.
I mean, it's like would it keep people's attention as much when they're like, okay, well, we pretty much have everyone in the game. Do I really want characters from KOTOR that I've never seen or played?
And that's a great point, because probably how much of the fan base is strictly movie watchers, and then how much of the fan base is like played all the games, read books and stuff like that. So you bring up a good point. They got because, like we said, we're going to have this new Darth Malik, whatever it is, coming out. But I'm totally pumped for KOTOR rework. Excited for that.
Right.
Did you say stoked for a Grievous rework?
No, Clone Wars in general.
Oh.
I think they missed the boat on that one with that stupid anniversary thing they did for them, right?
Yeah. I want Grievous, I want Mace, I want clones reworked, I want Hondo added to the game big time. I think they can have a lot to do there if they decide to do it.
Right. Well, we've been running. It's an hour. That's generally our time. So I want to thank you, ThunderWack, for joining us, man. You've got really great content when it comes to, you got some new roster reviews things that you've been doing, and you got the How to Mod series, and you also do other kind of stuff whenever you can on whatever, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So thanks for having me.
Yeah. It's been good. We do this every week, and we started streaming on Twitch at the beginning of the year, but we've been doing the podcast since July. So this will go up on YouTube afterwards. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you guys. Arbitrator, do you have anything else that you want to say?
Get out of here. Get out of here.